Gabriel Mann.
Yes, ma'am.
Come on down.
How you doing? Madam Chair, I appreciate it. It is late in the day, so I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup here. I've been asked to read this. There's a deadline. Ohio Constitution, Article 19, Section 1D, not later than the last day of September of the year after the year in which a plan expires under Division C, 3E of this section, the General Assembly shall pass a congressional district plan in the form of a bill by the affirmative vote of 3/5 of the members of each house of the General Assembly, including the affirmative vote of at least 1/2 of the members of each of the two largest political parties represented in that house. A congressional district plan that is passed under this division and becomes law shall remain effective until the next year, ending in the numeral 1, except as provided in Section 3 of this article. I feel like the House Clerk. I've never got to do that before. These are the rules that Speaker Matt Huffman helped write and sponsor in a bill that is now codified in our state constitution. I'm almost done here, and then I'll jump to my actual testimony. The Republican-led ballot board did write the ballot language in 2024, just like they did in 2023. Secretary LaRose abused that privilege both times. I was in the room for one of those. Gerrymandering also impacts statewide votes. Let's not fool ourselves there. There's been so many people in this hearing reading dictionary definitions of gerrymandering, but nowhere near enough discussion of the fact that you are all making government worse. It's gerrymandering when you produce bad policies that hurt people. It's gerrymandering when you lock in elections before voters get to vote. It's gerrymandering when those elected officials don't listen to voters because they weren't picked by voters. Ask me about Josh Mandel. I'm here to illustrate one specific bad outcome that is a direct result of a broken redistricting process because our current maps are gerrymandered. I'm now moving to my actual written testimony. Thank you for indulging me there. Co-chairs Timken and Byrd, members of the Joint Committee on Congressional Redistricting, thank you for accepting my testimony today. My name is Gabriel Mann. Hi. I'm the Communications Director for Abortion Forward, formerly Pro-Choice Ohio. I'm here today urging you to pass a congressional district map that represents the people of Ohio, like the map submitted by the Senate Democrats or the OCRC drawn map that the Equal Districts Coalition resubmitted. Okay, so in 2023, we saw a clear example of why gerrymandered districts fail to represent the views of voters elected officials are supposed to be representing. 57% of the voters that cast ballots in November 2023 voted in favor of the Ohio Reproductive Freedom Amendment, enshrining the right to abortion and other reproductive health care services in the Ohio Constitution. Why did the voters have to do that? Why did we have to hold that ballot initiative? Because for over a decade, the gerrymandered Ohio legislature had been going against the will of those voters, enacting more than 30 bans and restrictions on abortion. Not only did voters have to go to the ballot collecting hundreds of thousands of signatures to get the measure qualified to appear on the ballot, but the same voters had to come out and vote in a special election just months before the November election to fight back a legislative-created constitutional amendment solely focused on making the November election impossible to win. But we won. This gerrymandered Ohio legislature has one goal: rigging the process in their favor because they cannot win based on the merits of their arguments. You know the policies you are passing do not represent the will of the voters, the will of the people. You read the same polling that I do. In 2024, 5.8 million Ohioans came out to vote in the November general election. 55% of those voted for the Republican candidate for president. 54% of them voted for the Democratic candidate for president. 44% of them voted for the Democratic candidate for president. A representative map for Ohio should be one that comes close to those numbers, giving Ohioans from both parties the representation that matches the state composition. Our current congressional map gives Ohioans 10 Republicans and 5 Democratic seats in Congress, a 67-33 breakdown, which is far, far different from the representational number of 55-45. In the United States, we have a representative democracy. The people elect individuals to represent the needs of our communities and government. Unfortunately, states like Ohio have strayed from this foundational principle, creating district boundaries not based upon representation, but biased to a single party to win elections. The very foundation of our democracy is at risk when the people of our state no longer have true representation from their elected officials. I'm disappointed that this hearing is the first and likely only hearing before the first deadline of this redistricting process. We have not yet even seen a proposed map from the Republican leaders in the legislature. Leaders are making no attempt to work in a bipartisan manner to do what is best for Ohio, which would be to pass
I'm sorry, you're out of time. Could you please wrap?
Yes, ma'am. To pass representational bipartisan maps before the September 30th deadline. The map submitted by the Democrats and the OCRC drawn map resubmitted by the Equal Districts Coalition both meet the spirit and the letter of the 2018 voter-approved constitutional reform. We encourage the committee and the legislature to adopt one of those maps for bipartisan passage before September 30th to give Ohioans what they deserve, a representative democracy where the voices and the needs of their communities are heard. Ohioans deserve true representation in our government. When we don't get good maps, Ohioans lose, communities lose. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Questions?